Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Sword. The Turffield Stadium and Turffield itself lies just yonder, but first we have to go through some adjacent fields, capture some new Pokémon, passive-aggressively rub up against some trainers until they fight us, maybe get a few berries here and there. I don't know, this is just how Pokémon works these days.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so going back to the route conversation about what amounts for a route. Look at this, and the fact that we can literally see the next town, like, within eyeshot, even with this game's limited draw distance. This is not the most substantial thing you could have serve the role as a route.
Well, I mean, like, roads even, to use their correct pronunciation. We are in Britain land, in Pokemon world after all. They tend to be kind of short sometimes, I know, especially in the country. I guess I've only ever lived in the city. You'll have to take my word for it. But what I would have done is, Route 3 should have been all of this after we left Motorstoke, all the way until we reached Turffield, and at least it would be a bigger route that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the other thing that sort of it would have helped with is actually most of the UK is fields like this.
Yeah.
Like, apart from, when you dealing with motorways and stuff, like most of the sort of when you're travelling between towns, it's either urban or fields of various types. And a lot of our area is farming land. It's just sort of the way the country was built. But I do like the look of this route, because obviously it is something very different to pretty much any of the other routes, and it's just very yellow.
The only route that I can really remember even remotely having a similar kind of like colour palette and whatnot is, I'm sorry, I forget the name of it, but it was in X and Y, I believe. It was a very nice looking one. I think it was near to where there was like an underground hideout of like punks and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. The one where it had like the Lost Hotel.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one where if you go in there, then you can, like, if you've got all the roller skating tricks, you can get stuff later on, which,
yes,
like, that whole roller skating thing, that was like the precursor to eventually giving up the grid altogether in Gen 7, which I will say, I don't mind the grid. I don't mind the grid in Gen 6. Like, I feel like nowadays the art style is adapted to a point where it would look a bit weird, but with that kind of art style they had on the like Gen 6 games, I think it worked.
Well, we have a grid apologist, Richie. What shall we do with him?
I mean, I'd say feed him to Corvisquire, but I'm not sure whether Corvisquire is a full-on carnival or not.
He's a badass design, I'll go with that.
I mean, not as badass as Corviknight, but he's getting there.
Yeah, I only evolved him because we're not really going to be using him all that much, and Snips, unfortunately, will be leaving the party soon because we're getting a replacement.
Oh, yes. Now, Galar Meowth, I will say, when I first saw this guy in a leak, I thought, what the actual fuck is going on here? I didn't like him at first, until you turn the camera and you see behind that massive ball of fluff that's his beard, it's a normal Meowth body, and that is so fucking funny to me. Good job killing him, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's a steel type, by the way, this one. It's not normal, it's not dark, it had to be steel for some reason, because it's fucking hard as nuts, mate. It's gonna come out, it's gonna fuck the Vikings to death is what it's gonna do.
Look at him just running over there.
I had a stroke like midway through, and whatever words came out weren't mine. They didn't come from my soul, alright?
Can I use that excuse?
No, because you have other deficiencies that may explain some of your eccentricities.
Go on, please go into detail about this.
No, because I like having subscribers.
I will say, I'm probably potentially in the minority here, but I still don't really like Galarian Meowth's design.
You what?
Yeah, I think because even though I like the funniness that it's a beard, but it's the fact that it just doesn't look right, and it just feels really wrong. And it's the same when it evolves into Berserker. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Well, I'm sorry, Game Freak. You did your best, and this guy just doesn't appreciate your hard work.
No, I don't.
Well, whatever. I'm going to catch him, I'm going to put him on my team, and he's going to love me. At least someone will. Stay in this fucking ball this time, you piece of shit.
Hey, he actually listened.
Nice. This one's a keeper. Ah, Tento, you will not get to evolve before I thrust you out of the party, my friend, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it happens.
To be fair, it's like the regional bug. They're designed to be replaced.
True. I actually forgot some Norse names, so here's Kratos. He murders Norse, it's kind of similar.
We'll roll with it, okay? Oh, does that mean that when he evolves, he's gonna become like a full-on sad dad?
Oh god, Gmod, just take Berserker, put Kratos out of the picture, and just have him go for all the stuff with Atreus and whatnot. Oh, and take Atreus, get him out, Galar Meowth. There you go, I've just made a new Pokemon game. That's what I want Gen 8 to be.
Oh god, okay, maybe we should just let Game Freak carry on doing their thing.
Maybe. I mean, at least when we destroy the franchise, it'll be a lot more entertaining.
I mean, not to the investors, it wouldn't be.
Well, they want more Pokemon Go, so fuck them. It's a damn fursuiter is what it is, I only just noticed.
I wouldn't say fursuiter because, you know, little girl, but definitely sort of enjoys dressing up as an Eevee.
It's a little kid, of course they're gonna like dressing up as their favourite animals.
Exactly.
Where are the parents? They're out in an open field, there's wild Pokemon hovering through her, and all she has is a fucking Eevee. What's it going to do? Use Stand Attack on the Steel type?
Oh, so here's like your fresh hot take of, oh, where are these Pokemon trainers' parents? They're just letting their kids run around. No one's ever had that take before.
The child's sad now, so I'm sad.
They don't look fucking sad. That kid looks like she's having the time of her life.
Well, you know how depression be, mate. You're smiling on the inside, but you're frowning on the inside. Wait, strike that, reverse it. You know what I meant.
Yeah, that is like the vaporwave depression.
Alright, where's Galarian Meowth? I want to read his metal... I'm not having very much luck with words today. I want to read his metal entry. Come on now, before I fart out any more shit from my mouth.
No, Tom, that's Magikarp. I know there's an M there.
Whatever, Meowth. I guess it's got to be under Meowth's regular entry here.
Yes. So, one of the things that you can do in this Pokédex, which is actually really quite cool, is that obviously you can change the versions on the sort of the entries, and that is just always quite cool that you're able to do that.
It's toughened the Pokemon's body so much that part of it has turned to iron. So when it evolves, it's basically going to be wearing a sweet Viking helmet.
Nice. Not really. Well, I mean, it is kind of British because, you know, they did come over and invade and take us over. As did a lot of people, actually, back then.
Yeah, but, although to be fair, we kind of did the same to a load of other people.
You know, after that, like, clearly it was just sort of, we got invaded so much that we decided to start invading. It's the typical sort of bully cycle.
It's like, man, I've had enough of this being invaded. Do you want to go invade someone else? Sure, why not?
Yeah, although that does lead into like what's the history of the Pokemon universe in that respect? Like, who has like fucking Galar colonised in the past?
Probably not a lot if they're being besieged by Wooloos blocking routes and whatnot. What is with this Dutch angle here?
I don't know, but I love it.
Here's our first gym leader. He's a big lad. His name is Milo, and like all losers, he specialises in the grass type.
Yeah, it's interesting that they put the grass type early on. Like the gym cycle, it does go like grass, water, fire, so the starting types, which I suppose it's a bit basic, but at least it's not another fucking rock gym at the start.
That's true. Yeah, although to be fair, how many times has rock appeared as the first gym in like a Pokemon game? I'm thinking
Definitely twice.
there was twice.
3 times.
3? Really?
Yeah, rock.
Oh yeah, of course.
So Brock, Roxanne, Rogue.
Oh,
Yeah, no, you're right.
well, hot diggity damn, there you go. And grass, I think, has only appeared twice as the... This warrants further investigation here. Well, what really weirded me out in Gen 6 was just having a grass-type gym leader, like, halfway through the game, even though it happened before in Gen 1.
Yeah, but like the grass gym in X and Y was piss easy, let's be aware.
I mean, to be fair, pretty much all of the grass gyms have been pretty piss easy, apart from sort of Celadon's gym, depending on who you had with you at the time.
Well, I always have Charmeleon by then,
I mean,
so...
agreed. But that was purely because there were so many grass poison types at the time, so they had sort of a little bit extra going for them, whereas now you tend to get much more sort of pure grass types and so on and so forth. But I have to say, I do think that I do really like Milo's design. He sort of seems like a really nice guy.
Wow.
Although the nose situation is a little bit disconcerting because from certain angles he looks like he has no nose. Then he turns and you're just like, oh no, he does have a nose. It's just that it's kind of small and petite.
He looks like a fusion of that one guy who was going to be All Might's protege in My Hero Academia and, I don't know, fucking Saitama. Yeah, let's go with that.
You fucking weirdo.
But what's quite cool is his name. So basically, it all comes from the same place. His Japanese name is basically Yarrow, which is it's a type of plant, and all of his other names follow through on that. So Milo is from basically the Latin-ish name for yarrow, which is Achillea millefolium. Or millefolium, I don't know. French, it's Percy, which is from Pisciladinde, yarrow, and sort of that just follows through, which is it's strange. Although his Chinese name, which is either Yaluo or Alec, is shared with the Team Go rocket leader Arlo, which is bizarre, but there we go.
I knew Team Rocket was ran by a puppet. I just couldn't prove it until now. So yeah, this is the Pokemon job system. If you've ever played Smash Ultimate specifically in the World of Light, you can send your stickers or whatever out into the world to do things for you, and they will come back possibly with items.
They get a big experience boost as well from that, which is kind of cool. Like, particularly the later jobs you unlock.
Definitely. I will say I really, really like the Pokemon job system. Not that it's something that sort of has much of a purpose other than, giving Pokemon that you just box a chance to level up. But it's that I like, because one of the things that, in a way, I have always sort of felt bad about, even though, it's not real, is sort of catching a Pokemon and then just abandoning it in the box and doing nothing with it. So being able to give them something to do makes it feel more like you've got a little sort of family going on.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
And also, in a way, so this is going to make me just seem really sad, but hey, here we go. It sort of reminds me very much of My Sims Agents, which basically kiddie game, but I like the series and I still have a place in my heart for it. But that had sort of a side bit where basically you sent off characters on missions to do things, and sort of they checked in with you every now and again to ask questions and stuff. And it just reminds me of that in a sort of slight way, and that just makes me happy.
Okay. Sorry, when Richie pours his heart out, my brain just goes sometimes. Interesting tidbits here. You see the Pokemon in the relief over there, the one with the antenna-looking tail. That's all but confirmed to be Gigantamax toxicity at this point. And if I can not slur my words, toxtricity. There we go. Fucking hell, Tom, what is wrong with you today? But yeah, that's the tease, sis. And maybe we'll see it when it comes out, because it sure as shit ain't available right now.
No, but to be fair, I do need a bit of a run up myself to toxicity, or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh yeah.
So they are talking more about like the idea of the darkest day, and that is one of the things that I feel like they do a fair bit of this sort of teasing it and just like mentioning stuff about it, and we find out more about different heroes and stuff later on as well, except it doesn't really drag you into it. It's just, here, look at this, oh yeah, back to the gym, and that is the trend like right up until the end, really.
Yeah, although I will say that I do really, really like this thing, because it's a hill figure, and they are actually sort of surprisingly quite common things in the UK. They're a large visual representation created by cutting into a steep hillside and revealing the underlying geology. And sort of one of the most famous is the Cerne Abbas giant chalk figure, which is near the village of Cerne Abbas in Dorset, which is basically a large giant man with a club and his penis and balls on full display.
Yay!
As you do. There are also a number of horses throughout places, and it's a cool thing sort of for them to pull through, and it just makes me really happy.
Lots of things make you really happy, Richie. Are you okay? Do we need to have a talk?
No, I'm just a very happy person. Like, I go to work and everyone's just like, why are you still smiling? And I'm just like, I can't stop. Like, this is just my face. Apart from when I'm on public transport, in which case I just have resting bitch face.
Pictured Richie on screen right now, complete with little hat. Please make that your avatar on Twitter from now on, Richie. I will love you forever. Don't make me catch you in a friend ball.
To be fair, it'll probably be better than mine.
The concept of a friend ball brings up really worrying implications, because you're already brainwashing a Pokemon just by capturing it in a Pokeball.
Yes.
But the friend ball makes it inclined to be friendly even more towards you.
Yeah, which is super dodge.
Look, okay, this is the only way I can get these creatures to pay attention to me.
Oh, Christ. The second someone starts making, like, human balls, we are done. And I ain't talking about yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
You didn't think that one out before you started talking,
did you? No.
It's fine. Some of us who actually have balls can notice your mistake.
I walked right into that one.
Yes, you did.
It was like 300 being backed against the cliff, all my brain cells flying off, but some of them just narrowly managing to stay on there.
So anyway, the gym challenge.
Yes, welcome to the first gym challenge of the game. And I actually kind of like this. You get to do mini-games before you face the gym leader and whatnot. And there's a few trainers along the way for you to battle, just so it doesn't get tedious and whatnot. This first one, piss easy. All you gotta do, round up the Wooloo.
Yeah, I do really like this, especially like the stages afterwards where you get the sheepdog Yamper helping out and whatnot.
I mean, I have to say, I really do like the gym challenges in this game, because one of the things that obviously had been getting samey with the franchise was that it was just walk around a gym, beat the gym trainers, maybe solve a puzzle. There wasn't necessarily anything too special about them, it was just sort of, it's a short puzzle. But obviously with Sun and Moon, they went with the island challenges, and there was a lot more creativity, I suppose, in them, and that has carried through into these gym challenges, and it just makes going to the gyms just a lot more engaging, because it feels like, you know, you're properly working towards the gym battle, because you're always sort of working pretty much straight through an area.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it works really well for me.
I guess you could say it started in X and Y, because I can like specifically remember stuff like, oh, in the rock type gym you're literally doing rock climbing and whatnot. In the grass type gym you're swinging around on vines and whatnot.
Yes, you are indeed right, yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's been happening for a long time. Like in Black and White, there was the one where, like the flying gym, where you got the springs that fly you around everywhere. Like Ruby and Sapphire had Winona's gym, which had all the gates, and the water gym had the ice puzzle and whatnot, where you can't step on the same tile twice.
So I think the thing is that obviously those were puzzles, but these feel sort of more like action challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of where the difference is. because obviously so much of Pokemon is static in the sense, obviously it's a turn-based battle system. You sort of stop and talk to people, so it's very much a static-y game. So when it gets into more of that action realm, it just becomes a bit more interesting.
It becomes more engaging and exciting as far as, you can make, herding sheep around a closed-off field can be. I've been meaning to bring up this trainer here. Is this just you, Richie? Is this just the good boy of the gym variety here?
I mean, I did have a think about that when I saw it. I was just like, although I will say, it's a definite no-no on the hair. Oh boy, that hair is awful. And also, while, in terms of my avatar, I have always had glasses, but I don't wear glasses all the time. So, it kind of, unfortunately, no, it's not really me. You had a lot closer with that one android in Detroit Become Human.
Oh, yeah! We saw him a couple of times throughout the Detroit playthrough. Huh. That freaked me out the first time, I'm not gonna lie.
It doesn't surprise me, it slightly freaks me out as well.
This is why I make myself look as repulsive as possible, so no one bases their characters on me.
Dude, they made an entire religion based around you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but he had cool powers and shit to make up for it. I
Don't try and make it out that you're two separate people, okay? We're doing a commentary with Jesus here.
Look, okay, if Jesus had the likes I have, then maybe I would be a Christian.
No wonder they fucking nailed you to the fucking cross.
Yeah, well, maybe don't use the word nailed.
Oh, jeez, no, it was to stop you from accessing that hentai is what it was.
Anyway!
No, sorry, I was just thinking of the fucking anti-masturbation cross,
Oh, shit.
Anyway!
Richie, there's no point trying to change the subject now. We're already condemned to hell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. But,
Flame, can you just get, me and Richie a couple of jail or hell free cards, please? I'm sure your old man can, he can fudge the paperwork here and there. The joke is that Flame fucking looks like Jesus, okay? End statement.
That's not the end, and you fucking know it.
That's true, but we're only beating up an Oddish. What do you want from me in terms of commentary?
Talk about fucking Oddish or something, I don't know.
Sorry, Oddish is not my type, Flame.
I didn't say you had to fuck it.
Be more careful with syntax next time, then.
well, I suppose that does bring up a slight conversation point. Although I can't remember which generation.
I'm scared.
I think it's
I'm
Gen
scared.
5? Which gen is the gen with Petlil and Elegant?
I think that was 5.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I saw recently, and I can't remember where it was. It might have been that doctor person who had all that behind-the-scenes stuff. But basically, in Gen 5, one of the things that they tried a lot to do was to have links back to Gen... Well, obviously linked back to Gen 1, but sort of the Pokemon were created with a view of having echoes in Gen 1.
Uh-huh.
And so, Petlil is basically the Oddish of that game. And you can see it in the design element, and apparently originally it was going to be a 3 Pokemon line, but they realised they had too many grass types, and so that was the one that got the cut. But it's sort of things like that which are always quite cool to look at, and that's a conversation topic started by Oddish. So.
Yeah, that was a thing with Gen 5's designs in general, though, in the fact that pretty much, a good maybe half of them or so are very blatant XBs of existing Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so, they were going off the idea of, for Black and White, you would just encounter the new Pokemon for the, main story of the game, which, fair enough, I wasn't too big on that at the time, but I could see what they were going for. but it kind of does defeat the point when it's like, okay, instead of Zubat, you have Woobat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of not really changing that much.
Yeah, no.
Plus, seeing a lot of cases, I do prefer the base form designs rather than the Gen 5 equivalents.
Yeah, and I feel like carry through to like here as well, because there's like a few Pokemon where it's like, oh, they're not in the game, but you've just made similar Pokemon anyway. What kind of is the point at the end of the day?
Yeah, and that goes back to like the whole slots thing I was talking about, and the fact that like, yeah, there's some of the cooler Gen 5 Pokemon that if they were like, if we had a national dex, I would be happy to see them show up in the regional one, just so that it's like a bit of variety and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, say for example, Klinklang. I like Klinklang, but I prefer Magnezone. So
Magnezone!
yeah, so like if we've got to pick one, then it kind of feels a bit naff to include Klinklang and not Magnezone.
Yeah, but at least with Klinklang you can call yourself part of the Klinklang gag, you know what I'm saying?
I was worried about where that was going for a minute.
Gang!
Oh god.
Well, where the fuck are these stragglers? Where are you?
You're chasing one the wrong way, that's why.
Oh, these Wooler are so goddamn stupid, I love them.
They're stupid, but they're cute, and they're also basically like sheep.
I am one of those. I will leave you to discover which trait is the one I was referring to.
Also, can I just say...
Yes?
That'll do, Tom. That'll do.
I don't care for you calling me a pig, especially when I'm already one.
This is going back to the Meeples thing, isn't it?
Whatever. Gym challenge done, let's go. I'm sad now.
It's fine, you get to beat up some more grass types, it'll be the catharsis you want.
It's very true.
Me likey, grass types can suck a nut. We're done.
Also, you know, just as we go into this, fun fact, Milo's uniform number is 831, which can be read in Japanese as Goro Awase for Yasai, and that means vegetables, which is quite fitting.
Okay. Here we come. Oh, this lad is ready. He is fucking yoked. Just look at him.
That's quite an awkward walk circle you got there, Milo.
Well, he put it all into his Pokemon battling skills, mate. He's been tilling the fields all day, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Let's watch how quickly he goes down.
Well, get ready for possibly the most hype moment of the game. There are going to be at least 7 more coming up here. This is the Gym Challenge. Get ready for some great music and a great bit of spectacle.
I like the music, and there's something that's going to happen which I love as a thing. I just wish that it was slightly more in tune.
Well, obviously never been to a football match, have you, Rich?
I mean, thankfully, no, I haven't. But there's a version of it that turns up later, which I much prefer because it is in tune.
How the fuck did he catch this thing in an Ultra Ball? That's what I want to know.
Probably a lot easier than you did in a fucking Great Ball.
Not wrong. So yeah, we can Dynamax when we're in the confines of a gym stadium. Here, it only lasts for 3 turns, but your health will basically double, and you'll get some specific moves that you can only use in Dynamax form. But we don't really need those. We're fine, honestly. Everything's fine.
Yeah, like the Dynamax the problem that I find with it in the gym battles in particular is that for every gym battle, excluding one, it's the last Pokemon on their team that they Dynamax.
Yes.
And so, if you're playing it with that in mind, then the last Pokemon Dynamaxing, that's when you'll also Dynamax yours, so you take it on.
Yeah.
And all that means is that the battle plays out exactly the fucking same as it would without it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a Mega Pokemon kind of deal where, you know, like there might be a new ability come into play, or, you know, like one of you might have got a bit of an advantage or a stat boost from that. It's like, no, now you're just both equal again. Like, big fucking deal.
Well, there's got to be a lot of me, like, waiting out the 3 turns here to get them to turn back into mini mode. That'll be very helpful during Shield, actually, especially with the Ghost type, because that Gengar ain't nothing to fuck with.
I think I one-hit that, I just can't remember what with.
Well, alright, it is time for my bug to become the big bug.
Them crowd sing-alongs are fucking great.
I love it, yeah.
As I said, I love it. I just wish that it was more in tune. There's a version of this that does occur later where it sounds right because, on the whole, while a lot of people in crowds will be out of tune, when you have an entire crowd of people singing, generally it manages to find the tune and the pitch and the key, and it sounds great.
Well, that's just harmonising in general, isn't it? It's just like the more vocal tracks you have going on, the more people singing you can hear, the easier it is to mask the layers that maybe aren't quite in the right pitch.
Which I think is sort of why I sort of came into this just like, I love it but I hate it. And I mean, by this point I do love
God.
it, but hey.
He's still talking. How about we talk about how cool the spectacle is, how great the music is. It's basically a good version of the Gen 6 gym leader theme, but no, the crowd is out of tune.
Oh, sorry, we're not easily impressed by a big shiny thing.
I love big shiny things, and I defy you to not find enjoyment in them.
I mean, I will say, I do really, really love the spectacle of this. Like, I don't think I've really ever had more fun battling in gym battles, because, yeah, just the sense of spectacle is so much bigger than it's ever been, because you have that entire crowd around you, and it just feels so alive.
Okay, but do you want to have a close-up look at that crowd that's cheering us on?
I mean, yes, it's very static right now, apart from some waving banners. Apart from when it does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does just feel... It's one of the things that I think the anime did that everyone has wanted for a very long time.
Yeah.
Sort of that sense of there being a massive crowd watching these battles and engaging with it. It makes it feel like, you know, the world exists out there rather than just being sort of, oh yeah, so we're going to go into these battles which are meant to be like these amazing things, but it's in a tiny room and hardly anybody's going to watch, so really, who gives a shite?
Yeah, who cares? Just go home and fucking kill myself at the end of the day. Oh no, I'm tiny again!
You successfully stalled for the easiest gym going.
I could have just used Rabu throughout all of this, but I didn't want to. I wanted Tento to get some, you know, time in the sun, as it were.
So that means you didn't think of it at the time, gotcha. Be honest with us.
No, I would have had to have actually fought more than none at all if I was using a separate Pokemon, you know?
No, you could have used the fire-type move and killed him outright.
Whatever, you pedantic asshole. You can't let me have any joy in life, can you? No wonder you're alone.
Oh,
Well, stop fucking up and maybe I won't have to keep putting
I'm
you down.
using a Pokemon with type advantage. What the fuck do you want?
For you to win already!
God, I can't take much more of this tonight. One more part and I think I'm done. I'm maxed out. I'm Dynamaxing over here.
Well, that your 3 turns and you're down.
Yeah, too much meatballs in me. That's what the problem is.
I wonder how many people watching these things do legitimately think we hate each other after all the years of this.
It's just tonight. There's a manic energy in the air. That's all it is.
Basically.
you see, it's because it's the first recording session of the year and of the decade, so, you know, we're just completely off our faces right now.
Basically.
You make it sound like we drink or something.
We have defeated Milo, which is also the name of a chocolate drink in Australia, I believe.
Yep, and that one's not informally in debt, but yeah.
Yeah, don't use grass types, kids. Don't be a grass gym leader.
Maybe just don't use monotypes like teams in general, yet none of the elites in this universe seem to clock onto that.
God, could you think of anything more boring than a normal grass type gym? Just like dual type?
Oh, God, it'd be awful.
Ah, yes. This piece of metal goes into ring.
It is cool that they all join together to make one bigger thing.
Yeah, I joke, but I liked that aspect. It seemed a bit meh on the run-up when the leaks were happening and whatnot, but when it all comes together, it does give you a sense of uniformity. I still like the traditional badges, but hey, these are nice as well.
I've got to point out that during that ending sequence, because it's a text-based dialogue system and you can progress at the pace you want, you can just leave them shaking hands for an uncomfortably long time. That is so fucking funny. Well, I'm glad it's a replica. I don't think his would fit our tiny little trainer.
But I wanted to smell Milo as well as beat him.
There are websites for that, Tom.
Sure are. So yeah, we're not allowed to go outside the boundaries. They said they were changing things up, but even Game Freak can't design stuff, you know, with different teams for different patterns and so on. Even, like, that one mini-series had, like, Brock be like, oh, you have no badges, I will use these. But if you came in with, like, 5, he would have a different set.
There was also the Kanto gyms rather than this specific gym challenge, which seems to have its own management and whatnot.
Yeah, but when it's the same thing as all the others, it doesn't really feel that different, you know what I mean?
This one has big stadiums. It's majorly different.
It's about as majorly different as Dynamax is a better gimmick than other gimmicks, Flame.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I will say is that, well, actually, no, I'll leave it to the next part. We've got much longer there to discuss it, and actually, I think it's a relatively fun conversation topic. So,
what, you gonna regale us on the history of embroidery next time or something?
Oh no.
Oh, let me close that page.
Base Flame, always getting ahead of the game. You see, that's his Jesus future sight powers there, coming in handy. Oh, we have our first gym metal thing badge. This trainer was the son of farmers. Honed his strength, always wears his boots, allows him to dig in his heels when he needs to. He uses grass types. He is the first gym leader in the gym challenge. That's all I got. Sorry guys, I'm out of energy now. We'll see you next time when the HFC Gym Challenge continues. Give it up like a Charizard in the wind. Shasha.